situations all the time. People cry out in pain, but they're actually totally fine. But sometimes things do go wrong, and we're about to react to some of those scenes. Huge thanks to Grammarly Go for sponsoring this video.
If people are crying out in pain, they're not fine. They're actually still in pain.
Get started. Oh, this is where Logan Paul had his injury.
Witnessing Michael.
You know what's funny? You couldn't really see how it happened. He was jumping quite high here.
Logan Paul is something special.
Yeah, I was something special until my knee exploded.
Yeah, so he, I believe, said that he had an MCL injury, which is...
Yeah, if your knee explodes, you're not fine.
The medial collateral ligament. Basically, this is the ligament that attaches bone to bone on the inside of your knee that gives it stability on the inside of your knee. So it's really problematic to be an athlete and have an injury of an MCL. You can't really walk without pain. You can't make any sudden movements.
Ow! Sorry. Ow!
The issue with doing a knee exam immediately on the field during an acute injury is a lot of times there's a lot of swelling, there's a lot of pain. So no matter what you do of the special tests, you're going to get the person screaming out in pain like this. The one thing that's unique to checking some of these signs is if you see laxity, where if you compare it to the other side, that the...
Alright, I'm going to read some of these, not all of them. Ligament laxity is when the ligament is too loose and will not hold the joint in proper alignment when it moves.
MCL just fully gives and it's not even there giving you any kind of support, then you could see that there's likely a tear. Feeling pain, pushing on different areas, you're not going to get a really clear picture of what's going on. It's that laxity. The fact that you could go much further to the end point than you can with the other knee is how you decide that there's a tear present.
If I had to guess, I think it's...
Yeah, well, if you're not going to get a clear picture of what's going on, you're not going to get a good understanding of what's going on. Unless, you have to go through surgery, then that's probably one of the ways, but usually x-rays show it, and then it's like, okay.
Which ACL, your meniscus, and the MCL? I think the ACL is too.
I did a triple whammy.
That's great.
So sometimes you can get the terrible triad, which is what he's talking about, and the meniscus, which is sort of the cartilage that makes up the padded portion, the cushioning portion of the knee. That oftentimes is like a secondary victim when you have an injury like an MCL tear or an ACL tear.
If you have a significant tear of the MCL, you have what we call a grade 3, which is almost a complete tear. We're going to treat this with a brace, with rehab. It's going to take a minimum of 6 weeks for this to go forward.
It's interesting that the surgeon said this is grade 3 and that they're just going to do rehab, because most of these are so severe that they do require surgery, because grade 3 is basically a complete tear, and I don't know how you continue being an athlete to the level that Logan Paul is with just rehab, especially with 6 weeks being the prognosis.
Yeah, if grade 3 is a complete tear and not an almost complete tear, then yeah, you probably would need surgery to fix your knee. But yeah, just hold on fucking minute. Okay.
Wants to show he can stand toe-to-toe with John. He did a pretty damn good job. Yes, he did. It's right in the nose with a knee.
Oh yeah, his nose is really deformed there. A lot of times when you hear people say that they break their nose, they're talking about the nasal bones that are a little bit higher up. So the thing we worry most about outside of cerebral spinal fluid leak, which is a leak of the fluid that's inside the brain, is a septal hematoma forming. A septal hematoma is essentially pooling of blood in an area where you have a mass that's continually growing from the blood pooling. It can actually cause permanent deformities inside your nose. And a lot of times you see people right away readjust the nose. We don't rush to do that in a lot of instances because we want to make sure that the swelling goes down and we can actually see what we're lining up as opposed to just doing it really abruptly.
And Belair now with Banks up. Banks
Oh,
on her feet.
can you?
Yeah, and I'm gonna assume the pooling of blood is where a lot of blood from your brain comes down into your, nose, your nasal part of your nose, and I'm gonna guess you would start gushing. Your nose would start gushing blood out of your nose, and yeah, there would probably be a buildup, and